Okay, we are going live, and this is an official time check. We're just a few seconds after the official start time of 3 p.m. on the East Coast. And let me see if I can get a banner up here. I'll get a little ticker going and get a little something with my website on there just for now. I'll take that off fairly soon. Just put that on there for folks coming in for the first time to the channel. And know that we're live and we do these shows periodically on the channel. So if you want to get involved, do subscribe. I did share a few links on some of the other forums. So hopefully some folks will come on in and maybe some folks will join us on the broadcast. So stay tuned for that. And this is a special time. We did have some folks ask for earlier shows, and we had some folks ask for later shows as well, but this will check the checkbox for the earlier show, 3 p.m. We usually broadcast at 5 p.m. East Coast time. And so, folks, this is your chance. If you wanted an earlier broadcast, this is your chance to tune in. And let's see what we can pull up here. See if we can pull up something fun to put on just for kicks. We're talking about wearing stunners today. There's a couple of stunners right there. There's my faux pay bracelet and the 002, which I have on wrist right now. And you can wear it with a suit. You can wear it with casual attire. You can wear the 002 anytime. And then back in the day, of course, the Rolex Date 8, the 18238 that I used to wear for many years, bought new. And around the year 2000, had it for about 20 years. And so that was a stunner. And wore that pretty much every day. In rotation, usually with a steel sport watch as well. So there you go. You can actually wear these watches, and that's the theme of today's show. You can actually wear the watches. Get a drink here. So we'll see if folks come in at this new unique time of 2 p.m. But I tell you, I saw what kind of prompted this discussion is I saw a post in one of the groups. I believe it was one of the Rolex groups, but it might have been just the Horology Talk or whatever. But I think it was one of the Rolex groups on Facebook. A gentleman posted that he was getting ready to go to the beach, and he was concerned as to whether or not he could take his Submariner in the salt water. And so that generated a bunch of fairly interesting comments. Some people were really trolling him. I don't know if it was a serious question or if it was a trollish question, but yeah, he asked if he could take his Submariner in the ocean, in the salt water. And so, of course, I replied that the only way to keep his precious Submariner safe is to keep it in the box at all times, to clean it, wipe it down, make sure there's nothing on that stainless steel, and then keep it in the box, inside the box, in a climate-controlled room. So that was my message to him, that's the only way to keep it safe. And I guess you might want to also put it in a safety deposit box at a secure location, so that it's safe from theft as well. Some people do that. They put their watches in safe deposit boxes. Well, I don't own a box watch. My watches haven't been in the box since the day I took them out of the box to actually wear them. So that's how we operate here. Let's see. We got David Williams in the house. He's saying hello to folks. And he's saying sub and saltwater, oh boy. And then somebody's saying hello all. I think he's got some Bitcoin. I think this gentleman, Ultraman 1 Red, I think he's got some Bitcoin actually. And long time no Craig. It's been a while since I did a show, and again, this show was triggered by that comment from the gentleman asking if he could use the question asking if he could use his Submariner in the saltwater, if he could actually take it in the saltwater. Well, since Brianna's in here, let's go ahead and put a banner up for the lovely lady Bree, and there we go, Bree Fit Dance, and let's give her the link. There's where you can find all her social media is at briefitdance.com, briefitdance.com. And since I mentioned Bitcoin, you can learn more about that at hope.com. Learn more about Bitcoin at hope.com. And then you might want to also follow the Bitcoin Meister, Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the one that convinced me to buy and hold back in 2016, and I'm glad that he did. I'm glad he convinced me to stop trading. I had been trading previous to that. But in 2016, he convinced me to hold, to buy and hold, and I've been doing it ever since. And that turned out to be really good advice, some really good advice. And some people are panicking that Bitcoin is pulled back to, I think it's like $35,000 now. Oh my goodness, Bitcoin's at $35,000. Don't remember a year ago when it was like 10,000 or less? My, how people forget so quick. So anyway, I think Bitcoin's fine. It's going to be volatile for the foreseeable future, but I think it's going to be fine. And maybe if the lady Brianna is still hanging around, maybe she can let us know what she's been up to. I noticed she posted a picture on Twitter, and some people made some really good comments, but I didn't see that she was replying. Lady Bree, you've got to reply to comments. When you make posts, you've got to reply. So do that. Go in there and reply to those. And so let me know, David, if you're still hanging out, let us know what's on your wrist. What are you wearing these days? And do you have a quote beater? So that way you can leave your nice watch at home in the box, or do you just wear the nice watch? Let us know in the chat what you do. And there was another post today, I believe it was in one of the Rolex groups, about a gentleman that inherited a 34 millimeter Oyster Perpetual steel and gold from his dad, and it looked like it was in mint condition. It was beautiful condition. And this just illustrates, first of all, a fantastic, great thing that his dad left him that watch. Probably a wonderful gentleman. And the new owner of this watch, his son, can use this as a way to remember his dad for many years to come. That's a lifetime watch, an Oyster Perpetual. But the condition of it was so nice, it brings to the surface this discussion we're having of, should you actually wear your watch? You know, years go by. As you get older, you'll realize this. A year goes by like that. And then 10 years goes by like that, and then it just, boom, time goes very fast. And don't be that little old lady that has all the furniture with the plastic coverings on it that she never got to enjoy sitting on the actual furniture. And she passed away, and somebody inherited all that furniture that was like new underneath the plastic. And she never got a chance to enjoy it. Enjoy these timepieces, wear them. That's what they were made to do. They're wristwatches. They're called wristwatches for a reason. They're supposed to be on the wrist, okay? They're supposed to be on the wrist, okay? So put them on the wrist. All right? That's what we do. Peter says, first time watching you from Dublin. What way do you use the watch market? What way do you see the watch market in, say, 10 to 20 years' time? That's a really good question. I don't know if people are going to be collecting watches to the extent that they're collecting them now. That's a very good question, because I know that back in the day, 20, 30, 40 years ago, it wasn't as common to have people with large watch collections. People usually had a couple of nice watches, and then they, moved on to other things. Now we're seeing these people with huge watch collections, and I call them box watches because most of them stay in the boxes at all times. Heaven forbid they get a scratch on them. I don't know if that trend is going to continue or if it's going to abate. I just don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I know that I would not be investing in watches. Your return on, quote, investing in watches is generally not very good. Very few watches are good investments. So 10, 20 years from now, I would still be just buying nice watches and wearing them. I would not be putting them aside as, quote, investments or some collector's item. David's in the house. Have been wearing my Garmin Instinct Tactical almost all the time, mostly because of moves, counting steps, etc. Need to give the Omega Planet Ocean some wrist time soon. There you go. So he's wearing a useful watch, I wore an Apple Watch for a couple of years, and I found it to be very useful, but I just went back to my other watches. I may go back to an Apple Watch at some point, if I start really needing it for health reasons. Brianna wears the Apple Watch and her Grand Seiko, her solid gold Grand Seiko Stunner. She wears them both. So there's that. That's pretty wild. But girls can wear a lot of jewelry and things like that. I think that's acceptable. When I see guys wearing two watches, I think it's a little bit too much sometimes. I just received my Seiko Prospex LX Antarctica Green from Steve at Little Treasury Friday. I'm wearing it now. Whoa! Cool. Cool. Can you join us? I'm going to put the link in the chat. I shared the link, by the way, on a couple of groups, but I don't know if anybody will come in. But I'm going to go ahead and copy the link and put it in the chat here in case anybody wants to come in and join the show. In case they want to join the show, there's the link right there, the StreamYard link. If I had a solid gold Grand Seiko, I'd double up too. LOL. Jeffrey. I'm not hip. What does double up mean? Does that mean wear it? Yeah, okay, good. And by the way, not officially, but my 231 diver watch is available to a subscriber at a decent price. If a subscriber's interested in the 231, I would be willing to sell it, subscriber only, and because that would free me up to just be able to wear the 002 Stunner all the time. The 002 Stunner all the time. And because I've overcome my fear of the leather strap, for example, not lasting. That's people that have said that in some of the forums and groups and things like that the leather strap will fall apart, if it gets some sweat on it or whatever. That if you have a high quality stitched leather strap, well made, mine are by HD Straps, hdstraps.com, they last years because Brianna has put one of their straps through the mill for 6 months now, and hers, the only place there's any wear is she does not have the deployant clasp. So where she bends it and folds it, it's got some wear, but it'll still last. Okay, let me bring this gentleman into the show. We're going to take him up here, and I have to. Oh, your audio is muted. It looks like. Unmute your audio. Okay, let me get my earbuds here so I can hear. Stand by. This is live television. This is the way this happens. Okay, hello, Ultra.
Hi.
I'm not hearing much audio from you.
Can you hear me?
Do you have audio turned on?
I do.
Oh, okay, now I'm hearing you just kind of low. Okay, so go ahead and let's get a close-up of that watch. Can you get it as close as possible to the camera? Yeah, oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, center it on the camera. Oh, wow. Okay, hold it still. Yeah, oh my goodness. That is stunning. And that looks really heavy duty. I wish I could hear your audio better. Folks, let us know. It might be my end. Say something, Ultra, and let us know in the chat if you can hear his audio. Tell us about the watch and how you got it. Go ahead, Ultra. Tell us how you got it.
I actually saw one of your shows about a year ago, but I've been I got it through
Through Steve at Little Treasury?
Yes,
Okay. And now, is that a 44 millimeter watch?
I believe so.
Because it does look to be a substantial size. What size is your wrist?
I'm right under 8 inches.
Wow. Okay, so you got a good size wrist. Hold it up a little more so we can see it a little more. Wow. Okay, and turn it around so we can see the back of the clasp. Okay, yeah, it looks pretty rugged. Um, does that have any kind of an extension on that bracelet?
It does. Yes.
Is it a quick extension or do you have to use a tool?
No.
How does it extend?
It's a quick extension. It's very similar to yours, I believe.
Um, so if I lift up my flip lock and kind of pull it back a little bit, the bracelet will extend out. Is that how yours works?
That's how it works.
Okay. Well, I'll
Yes.
tell you what, after I had mine for like 2 weeks, I found that that was really convenient. That quick extension. I was
Much
using it.
comfortable.
See, when I go out into like the hot and humid weather, my wrist expands, and that's when I use it. Have you found it to be useful? Have you found the extension to be useful?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because it's I live in Florida, so with the weather, you start to swell, and it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, I love it. I think it looks stunning. I mean, and now that the bezel, can you hold it up one more time to the camera? That bezel, is that a ceramic bezel?
I believe it's so.
Yeah, it looks like it might be, and I'll tell you that the coloring on it is really really stunning.
I used to own a Submariner Hulk, and I like this better.
Now, is that stainless steel or titanium?
It is titanium.
So it's really comfortable on wrist.
It is very comfortable.
See, that's what I like, and I like the way they kind of form to your wrist. They kind of the way the lugs are. It kind of hugs the wrist a little more. Do you find that it hugs the wrist a little bit more than what the Rolex did?
Yes, it did. It fits a lot better. A lot better.
You know, and this is a thing that a lot of people overlook with watches is the comfort on wrist. I mean, my gosh, that's what we buy them for is to wear them on wrist. If they're not comfortable on the wrist, I mean, that's like why, right? And so that's what why I'm not a fan of the super cases on the Rolexes because they made them less rounded and less soft on the wrist. They used to be nicely shaped and all back in the day, and they fit nice on the wrist. But now it seems like I don't know why they went to that super case. If it was just for looks or for marketing or what, but I just don't think it's better on wrist. So yeah, no, I think you did the right thing. I mean, that's going to be a durable, robust watch. Now, what movement is in that?
7 hour, 72-hour spring drive movement. I imagine it's the same as the GS, but not as refined.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so you get the benefits of the spring drive. You get a really unique looking watch that you're not going to see somebody else wearing it, that's for sure. And absolutely something that is going to hold up for decades. That movement is extremely robust. Well, two thumbs up. Well done. Well done. All right, we're gonna let you go. Well, before we do that, does anybody have any questions for Ultra? Any questions for Ultra before we let him go? Put them in the chat there, and I will relay them. Okay, here's one question from David. Ultraman, is that the LX? Is that LX a GMT?
No, It's just the standard. It's the standard Prospect line, and the GMT is blue and black.
Okay, there you go. And Kyle says, hey guys, and able to hear him. Good. And Kyle says, hello, David Bree. Okay, he's saying hello to some people. Those Little Treasury Grand Seiko videos are fantastic, by the way. Jeffrey Perez. Yeah, well, we got to get them to put a few more of those up on this channel. Yeah, that's, let them know that you'd like to have them put some more of those up on this channel so that you guys can see them here as well. Let the folks know at Little Treasury. And Nice Watch Ultra says Bree Fit Dance in the house. And Cool Watch for sure says Kyle. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to, I mean, it's going to hold up under any kind of extreme use. So I mean, my gosh, being that titanium, I'm sure it's the same grade 5 titanium that Grand Seiko uses. It's not coated, correct? It's not a coated titanium?
It is a coated titanium, from my understanding.
Have you researched that?
I did recall seeing it.
Okay, because the Shogun I had, the SBDC 007, that was coated. But I thought that their higher end ones were not. Because like my 231, that's not coated. And I thought that the higher end Seikos also were not coated. I don't know that it matters that much because I can tell you right now the coating on my Shogun held up great. I mean, I had no issues with it.
I will tell you, it's.
Go ahead.
It's. I've enjoyed it much more. It's night and day difference between my Rolex Hulk Submariner versus this. I love much more enjoyable watch to wear, and much more accurate too.
Oh my gosh, you're going to be totally spoiled by the accuracy. Yeah, that's the problem. Is once you get a spring drive, you just can't go back to a normal automatic. I mean, it's just you just can't go back. And then watching that second hand go around, you got to watch it when you're driving the car. Because, I mean, sometimes you'll be like driving the car, you'll be like checking out the second hand. I mean, it's worse than texting and driving. So,
Nice.
yeah, watch out for that. All right, well, thank you for coming in. David Williams says, great to hear that it is preferable to the Hulk. There you go. Well, you listen to a guy who has worn them both. So he qualifies as an expert on that matter. So thank you very much for coming in. That is a stunner. Whoa. Talk about a guy that is wearing a stunner. And a robust one at that. And he's down there in Florida where you need a heavy duty piece. I mean, it can be, I mean, my gosh, you can be out there swimming in the Atlantic, if he's on the Atlantic side, and he might encounter a shark or something. I mean, you never know what you might encounter down there, a freaking alligator or something. I mean, you need a robust watch. And he's a big guy. I'm sure he could probably, wrestle that alligator and take that puppy on, probably make a belt out of him. And but you need a watch that can handle that, right? And he's got one. So 2 thumbs up on the LX purchase. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else we were. One thing I wanted to mention. I was really disappointed with Costco. Costco, I'm usually really impressed with them. So a little over 2 years ago, I went there to, a little over 2 years ago, I went to Costco and I got some prescription glasses. I got 2 pairs to use in the car, one that was sunglasses and one that was clear but got dark in the sun. So I had both and to keep in the car at all times. And then I got a pair for just watching TV that were the distance prescription. And so when I bought them, I was told that when my prescription changed that I could get the lenses changed out. I wouldn't have to buy new frames, which is good because once you get used to a frame and you're comfortable with it, right, you don't necessarily want to change it. And plus, why waste the money? Why throw away perfectly good frames, basically, right? So a little over 2 years later, my prescription changed. I went to the doctor there. They did the tests and all that, and there was a slight change in my prescription. So I go I say, okay, I want to go ahead and change these out to the new lenses. Oh no, we can't do that. It's been more than 2 years. It was just over 2 years. And so you got to buy new frames. I said, these frames are perfectly fine. I don't even use them that much. Just use them when I'm driving the car, and it's been COVID the whole freaking time, right? And so they're in mint condition, right? Oh no, we can't do that. You got to buy all new frames. So yeah, that did not make me happy. I went ahead and bought all new frames. I'm getting 4 more pairs of glasses from them. I'm still want to get a really nice pair of glasses from there's some folks that sell eyeglasses high end that are on my website that I'm supposed to do a trade out with and get some nice glasses from them. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, I just needed some things to use in the car and stuff like that. And so I went ahead and ordered them. They'll probably be in about a week or so. But total fail. Now, there's other places online where you can send in your existing glasses and they'll put lenses in them and all that, which I probably should have just done that. But, they were there and it was, I went ahead and did it. But that was really disappointing that they don't allow you to recycle those frames. Now, I can understand them having a policy where if the frames are in bad shape or something like that, we're not going to mess with it. But they should at least try. They should at least say, okay, here, give us all the frames, send them in. If we can't put them in there, we'll let you know or something, right? That should be the policy, not based on a years, because, my gosh, some people might use their glasses a lot and some people might use them very little. So that's my beef for the day. Great call in from Ultra. And okay, I got a couple of other questions here. Will you be heading to Florida for the winter this year? I will hopefully be spending some time down there this winter. We're still trying to work to get things organized here with the business and get somebody to do some of the work while I'm gone. So that is a little bit up in the air, but I'm definitely going to be doing some traveling away from the cold weather this winter, whether it be Florida or somewhere else. And Ultraman, thank you, everyone. Okay, and great call in from Ultra. Yes, absolutely, Ultraman. Thanks for sharing. Yes, it's nothing like seeing a watch on wrist live. Now that's the real deal. Hi, Craig and all. I didn't know you were live today. We're live right now. Yeah, we're live right now. It is 3:28 p.m. here on the East Coast of the United States as we speak. So there's the official time. And remember, there is a broadcast delay, so yeah. And the watch is a little bit fast. It gains about maybe a second a month, maybe not quite that. So yeah. So and the last time I set it was when the daylight savings time changes. That's the only time I reset it, is when daylight savings time changes in the spring and the fall. Other than that, it just runs. Now this one, this one gains a little more time. This one gains, I think, about 8 seconds a month gains, which is fine because it's very easy to just pull out the crown. It's not a screw down crown. To just pull out the crown and stop the second hand for a few seconds and push it back in. It's very easy to keep it in sync if I want to. 8:28 p.m. here. And Ultraman saying you're welcome to David. And we might have to have a wrench gang meeting in Florida this winter. Yes, I think so. I think that might be a good move. Let's see, 8:28 p.m. here. All right, so it's a good time for you. Not too late. Good. Good. What's on your wrist? You know, it's funny. These guys in these groups. I put a couple of links in a couple of the big groups asking if people wanted to come in and talk about this subject matter. And I guess they just like hanging out in their group over there. They're not clicking. They're not coming over here. So that was an experiment that turned out to be a fail. Um, and let's see here. And Kyle, I agree, says David Williams. Of course, he's out there in Vegas. The weather's not bad there in the winter. It doesn't get too cold. What is the weather like there, generally speaking, David? Um, does it get kind of cold in the wintertime there? I know it gets cold at night sometimes, but what's the weather like during the daytime and like let's say December, January, February? What's the weather generally like there in Vegas? Inquiring minds want to know. Carlos should be able to make it. The world traveler, Carlos. Absolutely. Now, what else was I going to talk about? I'm going to shoot a business story video for a new sponsor, a dentist that's a new sponsor. I'm going there tomorrow to shoot a video. And I don't know what we're going to shoot. I don't know what she has lined up, but stay tuned for that coming on the channel. And she's actually my dentist. I've gone to her now 2 or 3 times and had some old fillings redone. They are the old type that had mercury in them or whatever. And so supposedly it's a good idea to take those out and have those redone. I only had about 4 of them. I've only had about 4 cavities my entire life. But we've been slowly but surely redoing those, maybe one each time for the last 3 visits or whatever. You know, we're pretty much close to done. And so she's done that, and she fixed one of my teeth. Part of the tooth broke off, and she was going to put a crown, but she did a partial, and that worked out. And so she did that. And so she seems pretty good, and she's right here local in beautiful downtown Thurmont. And so I'm pleased to have them as a sponsor and be doing a little video for them here pretty soon. So what else? What other news do we have? In Las Vegas, winter temps usually 40s to 60s during the day, okay, and 30s to 40s at night. What gets you in the winter is the wind. Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan of the windy stuff. You know, that's a downside to, I've talked to people who winter in Texas and South Texas, and I've talked to people who winter in Arizona. Those are 2 of the other spots where snowbirds go. And that is a problem in both those locations, is it tends to be windier than in Sarasota, where I've wintered. Where I winter in Sarasota, you get a light breeze most days, a very pleasant light breeze, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. But I understand in Arizona, it can be downright windy. It can be a problem, and the same thing in Texas. And so that's why those 2 places are options, but they're not as popular as South Florida. South Florida seems to be the most popular place to winter, and even better weather in the winter time than, for example, Southern California, like San Diego. In the winter time in San Diego, I don't think the weather's quite as good as in Southern Florida. So that's how that whole thing works. And David Williams says Sarasota is great. There you go. Absolutely. All right, so I'm trying to think what else we can talk about before we wrap up this special broadcast at a special time. See, I talked about the post of the gentleman who didn't want to take his his watch in the salt water. We talked about that. And of course, in the Rolex in the Rolex owner's manual, it does say that you should, when you use it in the salt water, that when you come out of the salt water or whatever, at your earliest convenience, you should rinse it off in fresh water, because contrary to popular opinion, stainless steel will corrode. It can corrode and will corrode sometimes. And so it makes sense to rinse it off real good. And especially sand, if sand gets in between in the bracelet and all, that's how you get a lot of that stretch in a lot of the bracelets, especially in the gold bracelets. I think that's why my 18238 held up so well, is that I kept it pretty clean. I didn't let grit and stuff like that get in between the links, get where the pins are going through the links and all that. That acts like sandpaper when it flexes, right? So if you keep all that clean and keep it sized properly, I think you get less bracelet stretch. So that's what I say. Blue says, I plan to retire in Sarasota. Not a bad plan. The Bitcoin conference was nice, but didn't invite me. Yeah, it would have been great. It was good, but it could have been great. It was good, but it could have been great. So there's how that whole thing worked. And Craig, how's biz now in Maryland? Are they loosening, have loosened restrictions? Places are slowly but surely coming to full capacity and opening up. There's still some places that insist on masks and stuff like that, but they're falling by the wayside pretty quick. And so, yeah. And we had like 2 deaths last week or something in the whole state from COVID. I mean, it's just insane that that things wouldn't be 100% open. So yeah, that's why it isn't called stainless. Well, it's actually called stainless steel. Yeah, they call it stainless steel, but it will stain. It will corrode if you're not careful. And somebody 66 is saying hi to Briefit Dance, and she's saying hi right back. There you go. Let us know, Lady Brianna, what do you have in the works? What do you have planned? What are you releasing here soon? Let us know in the chat. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so do you have to wear one in Costco? No, not generally. But when I went to the eye doctor in there, that she has space in there, she's independent of them, but she rents space from them. They did ask for people to wear the mask there. And when I was actually purchasing the glasses, the new glasses from the optical department, they did ask that I wear the mask there because I was close to the person. But other than that, you can shop and do everything else in Costco now without masks in Maryland. Thank goodness. So, yeah. So we're making progress. We're not 100% there yet, but we're making progress. And you don't have to show the papers. You don't have to show papers. Papers, my man. Show me the papers. You don't have to show them the papers that you've had an inoculation. Oh, by the way, have they decided? Are you guys that are getting this shot, this thing? Are you guys going to have to get that every year? Is that going to be like a flu shot type deal, where you're going to have to get it on a regular basis? Have they decided that yet? So yeah. So, with this whole crisis waning, with it waning and people losing patience with this whole crisis, they've got to come up with another crisis. And I'm telling you what it's going to be right now. It's going to be the climate. It's going to go from a concern to a crisis. They're going to elevate this whole climate change thing to crisis status. And see, when they do that, when they make it a crisis, then they can do a lot more draconian things if it's an official crisis, right? So just stay tuned for that, sports fans. That's what is going to happen next. Our only hope is that Bitcoin takes off and Bitcoin becomes a thing. That's the only thing that's going to save us at this point, folks. I hate to be the one to break the news, but Bitcoin is the only salvation. Well, maybe getting a third jab in the UK. Oh, you mean like another wave of the thing? Another wave? Is that what's happening? Yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of waves. But I think it's going to get to the point where they're not going to be able to pull off this stuff with the virus thing. I think that's gonna they're gonna lose their leverage with that. I think finally people are gonna say, hey, this is just silly, right? And so they're gonna need a new thing. And so I'm guessing that new thing is gonna be. You heard it here on the channel first. You heard a lot of things on the channel here first, by the way. And what the next crisis is going to be is going to be it's going to be an emergency. It's going to be a climate emergency. I think that's what they're going to do. That's the term they're going to use, emergency. So let's stay tuned for all that. Maybe getting a third jab. Oh, another injection. Oh, okay. So 3 injections. All right. I got you. I got you on that one. I got you on that. Okay. All right. This is depressing. What else can we talk about? We've decided, Brianna and I discussed her strap, her HD strap, which is holding up pretty good. And I think what she's going to do is wear the strap. Maybe I can call in. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Call in. You can call in. Do you have the link? I'll put the link in the chat. Copy clipboard. Hold on. I'm putting the link in the chat so you can come in case you don't have it handy. Okay. All right. So anyway, have to hop, Craig. Thanks for the stream. David is taking a powder. Okay. Okay. Key West made me smile when I visited there. Yeah, Key West is a fun place. Key West is a fun, hipster place. Yeah. So, trying to think what else. There's something we were just talking about, and I forgot what it was. Ooh, there was something, and I think it was important. Oh, the straps. Yeah. Okay, so her strap, the hole that the pin goes through, see, she has a pin buckle, right? The hole that the pin goes through is getting a little bit of wear from just constantly putting it on and off, and also from bending the strap back when she puts it through that. And, you know, when you do that routine, right, there's a lot of flex to the strap. That's why the deployment clasp is so good. But anyway, it's still holding up pretty good after 6 months of heavy use. And so what we've decided, at least we talked it over, is and maybe when she comes in, she can expand on this, is that she'll keep wearing it until it really becomes a problem where it's really worn out and not able to function anymore. And then we put the next strap on and just keep doing that until she wears out. I think she's got like 4 straps for that watch, at least 3 that I know of, maybe 4. And wait until she wears all 4 of them out, and then try to find a deployant clasp that will fit her watch that's 18 karat gold. That's going to be the challenge, is a deployant clasp. So we might have to get the army working on that. The wrench gang might have to work on getting a deployant clasp for the lovely Lady Brianna. So now, since she might be coming in, let's go ahead and put a banner across. Let's put a banner across. Actually, let's put this up and this one. There we go. In anticipation of the Lady Brianna coming in, we'll put her 2 banners up there. Yeah, if you're not following her, you should be. So Bree has a series of Bitcoin VIP songs that she's produced, and her own original song, original music, original lyrics, the whole 9 yards, fully produced by Bree Fit Dance, and she has them listed. She has a link from her website at briefitdance.com. Actually, on her webpage, briefitdance.com is a web page. She actually has, I think, 18 of them done so far. And she's only going to do 21. So, excuse me, stay tuned for that. It's going to really get tight there at the end. Once it gets down to where there's only one left, it's going to be like, my gosh, who's that final VIP going to be? Who's that final Bitcoin VIP going to be? That is going to be the question. And Kyle Jett says, Craig, would you ever wear a watch on leather again without a deployant? No, I was never a fan of a leather strap, period. Then I got the is it 038? What's the model number of that one? SBGX 038, whatever. Anyway, the one that Brianna ended up with. I got that. And, you know, if you're not wearing it that often, it's not that big a deal to use the pin buckle. But if you're wearing it often, oh my gosh, the deployant is just amazing. I mean, I love it. I love the deployant. It's even easier to use than my regular bracelet, you know, on the diver. I mean, it's just the deployant is just great. And so no, I wouldn't want it's just like you can't go back once you've had the spring drive, the accuracy of the spring drive, you can't go back to the regular automatic movement. It's the same thing. Once you've had deployant, you can't go back to pin buckle. I was afraid to wear my GS factory leather band in class, but I got over it and just enjoy it as is. So which one do you have? Let us know which one you have. And does yours have the deployant clasp? Do let us know. Because I think Steve can get deployants for most of the Grand Seikos. A lot of the newer Grand Seikos, the stainless steel ones, have a stainless steel deployant clasp available. And I believe that's what David had. Of course, he left. But I believe he had a deployant clasp on his, pretty sure he did, on his 005, his SBGN 005 GMT. I think he had the 005. Maybe he had the 003. He may have had the black towel. I don't remember which one he had, but anyway. And okay, so Jeffrey has the SBGM 221. Let's see if we can find that. Okay, this is interesting. Here's one on eBay for a good price. Wow. There's one. Let's go through the pictures. Yeah, that's a deployant. That looks nice. Yeah, I like that piece. I like it. I like it, Jeffrey. Yeah, you can wear the heck out of that. And here's the thing. When you wear that strap out, the gentleman at hdstraps.com, HD Straps, he can make you a replacement that's every bit as good as the original for probably half the price. Just make sure that you tell him that you want the fully stitched and folded edges. You want it just like the original. In other words, you want the straps like the ones he made for me. He can make them both ways, right? But the key to the strap really being robust is it's got to have the folded edges where the edges are folded over and fully stitched. And I've got photos of the whole process on my Flickr. If you go to my Flickr and search HD straps, you will find photos of how he makes the high-end straps that are equal, in my opinion, in quality to the original Grand Seiko ones. And so you can get those and you can replace it if you ever wear that strap out. And I think it's going to be years and years to wear it out because the deployant, it puts a lot less wear and tear on that strap, putting it on and off and all that. I think the strap is going to last at least 5 years of heavy use, probably more than that. That's my guess. I don't think it's going to be a worry. You're going to have a worry in the world with that SBGM 221. SBGM 221, that stunner, absolute stunner. Let's see here. The new Rolex GMT Pepsi Jubilee bracelet is pretty comfortable too. Yes, yes. But even that case, they could have made that a little more rounded, a little more comfortable like the older GMTs. Okay, here is the lovely Lady Brianna. And let me pull this down and let me get my AirPods and see my,
Hello,
my
everybody.
earbuds. I could probably connect AirPods. I should do that. Okay, say something.
Hi.
Okay, you know what I think is happening? I think the splitter is taking away some of the energy. I can hear you, but it's not as loud as it normally would be. But that's not your fault. That's the fault that I'm using the audio splitter. But I can still hear you.
Oh, okay.
So let us know. First of all, point your camera down some. You got too much headroom over your head still. Okay. All right. Let us know. Bring us up to date. What have you been up to? You must have been really busy because I noticed you didn't reply to some people on Twitter.
Yeah, I just replied to them.
Okay.
But I've been like fixing my clothes because I have too many clothes.
Okay.
And I'm just like packing up. I have like a luggage, kind of like a bag you like that you know, travel with.
Okay.
Those like big ones. And so I actually keep like all of my winter stuff in there. So I had to like get more clothes in there because it's just too many clothes that I have to donate or return or whatever.
So are you gonna
Probably
put?
to the GW store.
So are you gonna put together like a pile of clothes that you're gonna take next time you go there?
Yeah, yeah, because yeah, it's just too much, and I feel like I need another closet.
And are they some of the things that you just don't wear much anymore?
Yeah, that I just don't like or don't use much.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Well, that's a good move. Okay, so we got a comment here.
yeah,
It's a smaller case and much more comfortable than a sub. Okay, there you go. And I guess he's talking about his watch that he showed earlier.
yeah, I like the watch that Ultra was wearing.
Oh
Really
yeah,
good, really good
heavy
choice.
that's a heavy duty piece, and that's especially for down there in Florida where he might be in some heavy duty situations, you know, with like alligators and sharks and stuff like that. You never know, you might need a
Yeah,
heavy duty watch like that.
yeah, yeah. You got to be
So,
strong to encounter one.
yeah, absolutely. So what are you working on? Are you working on anything interesting?
I'm actually working on like another version of the Sailor Bitcoin Bowl song.
Okay.
It's like way better. There's a chorus in it,
Okay.
and it's like they're harmonies, and it's actually got a good rhythm in it. It actually goes with my words, like the beat and stuff.
Are you working on that with the teacher that you're taking classes from?
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
and it's sounding really good. I don't wanna like,
Don't give it away.
yeah, I don't want to give it now until it's like finished
Okay.
and ready to go. But I really want to make a video and just I feel like it'll be the best one.
Yeah, well,
Probably like a bonus one out of the
yeah.
21 Bitcoin.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you can sing about any of the VIPs again. I mean, you said that there'd be 21 Bitcoin VIP songs. You
VIPs.
didn't say that you would only do one song about a particular VIP. So you could sing about a VIP again
Yeah.
and
But it
still
wouldn't it
be,
wouldn't count it wouldn't count in the 21, I guess.
well, it would be just a like a follow-up song about somebody who's already a Bitcoin VIP. Once they're a
And
Bitcoin VIP,
he's like the top VAP
yeah, and once they're a
seller.
Bitcoin VIP, they're always a Bitcoin VIP.
Definitely.
And so you can
Yeah.
sing about them anytime you want. And other people can sing about them if they want to. Because, I mean, they're a Bitcoin VIP,
Definitely.
an official Bitcoin VIP. And there's going to be
I haven't
more.
seen people sing about like Bitcoiners. So I feel
Well,
like
there
I'm the
aren't.
only one.
Yeah, well, there aren't that many people yet in Bitcoin. We're still very early.
We are early.
This is very early still, Bree. I mean, it's going to be 10 years before this thing really starts being mainstream. You're still very early. Did you hear what Mike
Um,
Novogratz said?
I feel good about it.
Did you hear
No.
what Mike Novogratz says? He said that we're in, like if you compare it to a baseball game, he says we're in the first pitch of the first inning. That's how early we are in Bitcoin. It's like they've just had the first batter come up and they've
Oh.
had one pitch. He said that's how early we are. We haven't even had like half of the first inning done yet.
Yeah, I mean Bitcoin's only like an 11-year-old. Like
Yeah.
it's young.
Yeah, and I mean it took like 30 or 40 years for the internet to really become a thing. I mean people don't realize that the
Yeah.
internet was born in like the 1970s. It didn't even become a thing until the late 90s for most people. When I got in it in like 94, it's like when I talk to people about the
The
internet,
internet. They
it
didn't
was
know
like
what.
it was like talking to people about Bitcoin like 3 years ago. It was like nobody knew what the heck the internet was, right?
Whoa.
And then a couple years later, then people knew what it was. They'd heard it, they'd heard the word, but they still didn't know how it operated or anything like that, right? And that's the kind of stage we're in right now, is where people have heard the word Bitcoin, but they
Yeah.
don't really know that much about it. They don't know what it's about and how it works and things like that.
Yeah.
So we're probably 3 or 4 years away from people starting to figure out how it works. And then once we get to that point, then it's going to probably be another 4 or 5 years before everybody's really using it a lot. So I think 10 years from now, it'll be like the internet was in like the year 2000,
Yeah, I
like
think
20
so.
years ago.
But the Bitcoin price is going to be too high. So people
Well,
wouldn't
the
be
Bitcoin, what they'll start doing is just selling Satoshis. You won't even hear anybody
selling.
selling Bitcoins because nobody will be able to afford a whole Bitcoin. So they'll just be
Yeah.
saying, hey, do you want to buy 100 Satoshis,
Yeah.
or 1,000 Satoshis? Nobody will be able to buy a whole
Small
Bitcoin.
people that don't know what Satoshis are, they're like small fractions of a
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
but by then, I think all the exchanges will start selling Satoshis instead of a whole Bitcoin. They'll say, okay, if you want to buy some Bitcoin, you can buy like 500 Satoshis for whatever price, right? They won't even be pricing it in Bitcoin anymore. They'll be pricing it in Satoshis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So it'll be
because it'll be
too
way too
expensive.
expensive for anybody to buy a whole Bitcoin. Okay, we got another comment here. Check out Seiko Tuna. Tell me what you think of it. The Tuna is a decent watch. It's an affordable watch. I would rather buy the Shogun, the 004. I think it's SBDC 007. Don't quote me on that, but it's called the Shogun. That's the one I would buy, though.
Oh, did you
Did
do one
you
on
do
Dorsey
one
yet?
on Dorsey yet? Jack
I would
Dorsey.
like to because he's really a Bitcoiner. I
Yeah,
think
he's
I
on the
think I want to
list.
do one on him.
He's on the list. Yep. Can't wait until one Satoshi equals one USD. Yeah, see, that's where we'll get. I think that's going to be
Oh yeah.
Is that when Bitcoin is a million, or does it have to be more than a million? I don't remember now. What is, because there's 100 million Satoshis.
Satoshis and one Bitcoin.
So that would mean it would be a penny, right? A Satoshi would be a penny, is that right? I'm not good at math here, folks. Somebody do the math.
Me either.
What is 100 millionth
I'm worse.
of $1 million? What is 100 millionth
100
of $1
million.
million? Somebody do the math on that, and then we'll know what one Satoshi would be worth if Bitcoin is a million. Would one Satoshi be $1, or would one Satoshi be a penny? That's how bad my math is. So somebody will tell us, I think. Just bought a King Samurai SRPE 37, fantastic watch for the value with a ceramic bezel. Oh, cool.
Nice. Nice.
Cool. Jeffrey Perez in the house. Okay, so you're working on that. What else? Have you been doing any working out?
Yep. I'm actually sore because yesterday I went for a run. And I think I want to run more.
Did you do some sprints?
Like long distance, yeah.
Good. Well, yeah, absolutely, you should. And what about hooping?
Some hooping. Yeah.
Are you trying to do at least 10 minutes a day?
Not every day, but I should.
Yeah, you got to get busy on that.
Yeah.
Got to get busy on that. Okay.
But yeah, definitely working on schoolwork too.
Okay.
Takes a lot of my time.
Are you getting caught up on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you learning anything?
Yes.
A lot?
Yeah, a lot.
What classes are you taking now?
It's called like how to manage, like how to solve management problems. That's what it is.
Okay.
And
Good.
professional image.
Oh, speaking of all that, what about your LLC? How's that coming along?
Pretty good.
Okay. And you have a bank
So,
account now functioning for your LLC?
what?
A bank account?
Yes, I do.
We'll have to do a test to see if I can send money to your bank account, because I have a Bank of America and you've got Bank of America, right?
Yeah, with this business, yeah.
So we'll have to do a test to see if I can send money from my business account to your business account.
Okay, sure.
Bree says no problem.
I can turn into Bitcoin.
Jeez. She's going to take fiat and turn it into Bitcoin. Okay, Kyle says when one Satoshi equals one USD, one BTC would be worth
100 million.
100 million? Is that right?
I
Yeah, I guess you're right.
He's better. He's better at math.
Yeah,
So.
I guess that has to be right. Yeah, yeah, because my gosh, that should have been easy for me. If there's 100 million pieces in a Bitcoin point, 100 million Satoshis,
Yep.
and if each Satoshi is worth $1, then that would be $100 million. So he's right.
Oh,
So he's
yeah.
right. But see, here's the thing. The reason I said a penny is I think the way that Satoshi designed it, the reason he came up with the 21 million number,
Mhm.
and the reason he came up with 100 million units in each one, is he figured that Bitcoin would eventually be worth $1 million each, that they'd be worth $1 million. That was his target, I think. I think that was his
Like each
optimistic
Bitcoin.
target. Each Bitcoin would be worth $1 million. And
Yeah.
so
I think it will.
therefore, each Satoshi would be a penny. See, he wanted the Satoshi
Oh,
to
to
be
be
equivalent
pennies.
to a penny.
That could happen.
So
I
And
mean, the
here's the
dollar is
thing,
gonna go
when
down.
we talk about a Satoshi being worth a penny, and when we talk about a Bitcoin being worth $1 million, what we're talking about is in 2009 dollars, okay? Because that was when Satoshi created the white paper. So the buying capabilities of $1 million as of that date, okay? So $1 million in 20 years is not going to be worth $1 million anymore as far as its purchasing power, right? But what he was thinking is it will be worth $1 million purchasing power as of 2009 when Bitcoin was invented.
Yeah.
So, in other words, it'll be able to buy a lot of stuff, right? And 10 years from now, $1 million US fiat won't be able to buy much at all, right? But if you have $1 million purchasing power as of 2009, then you've got some pretty good purchasing power. So I think that's the way to look at it. And I think that what's going to ultimately happen when all is said and done is I think it's going to be very difficult to get Bitcoin from somebody. I think somebody's going to think twice, 3 times, 4 times before they spend their Bitcoin. And I think people are going to be saving money a lot more than spending it. And I think that it is going to
Yeah.
be, a whole different society. By that time, a loaf of bread will be $100. LOL. Yeah. So again, that's what we need to do is we need to compare it to the purchasing power as of 2009. So it's going to have $1 million purchasing power as of 2009, which means you could buy like a nice house, a really nice car, really nice furnishings for your house. Even in Sarasota, you can buy a decent house. In 2009, you could buy a decent house for like 500,000, right? And then furnish it for another 100 grand. Buy a nice car to put in the garage. By the time you spend $1 million, you got a nice layout, right? So that's kind of the
Yeah.
way to
Yeah.
look at it. Yes, when BTC is 1 million, a Satoshi will be 1 penny, 1 cent. Yes, exactly. And Derek's in the house. Craig, we need to go over some of these idiot comments here soon.
Plenty of them.
Did I miss the clasp talk, Jaden in the house? We did talk a little bit about deployant clasps and the importance of them and how I really enjoy mine. And yet, we did also talk about Brianna. You've been wearing your Grand Seiko Stunner. Do you have it
Yeah.
on wrist?
No, I don't.
You don't have it on right now?
No, not right now.
Oh, okay. But you wear it a lot.
Yeah. I wear my faux pay though every day,
And it's all the time.
like all the time,
Yeah, but you
from
still wear the
morning to
Grand
night.
you still wear the I'm not the 002, the
Oh, 38.
038 Stunner.
Yeah, often.
You wear it several times a week minimum.
Right.
Yeah. And the strap is showing some wear after 6 months, but it's still very functional.
I have it here.
Yeah. I mean, how much longer do you think the strap is going to last? What would be your estimate with your normal use case of wearing it several times a week? How much longer do you think that strap is going to last?
Maybe 2 years.
Wow, 2 years. Okay. Well, that's good. Because you've got like 3 other straps, right?
Yeah.
So you've got like 6 years minimum worth of straps.
Yeah. And then I can go into the deploying class maybe.
That's the thing. See, that's what we're going to look for is once you wear out those,
Right.
and don't try to wear them out extra fast so that you'll get a deployment. I can see her now. Yeah, her mind is racing here. How do I wear these out?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it's got like
yeah, you're going to be like sitting there flexing it and yeah. We should have never talked about this. Okay. And so anyway, once they're worn out, then we're going to have to try to figure out how we get an 18 karat gold deployant clasp for
Like
you.
yours.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Something like that. So yes, Jaden, we did talk about clasps and we showed a couple of them on the channel. So you're going to have to go back and recheck and rewatch the show. But yeah, it is a thing. All right. So anything else you can think of that we should cover before we let everybody go?
No. Well, just enjoy the weather if you're in the East Coast, because it's great. It's like sunny and you got to do something outside.
By the way, on not January 4th, on July 4th,
Yeah.
I'm covering the Barbara Fritchie Classic motorcycle race at the fairgrounds, at the Frederick
Okay.
Fairgrounds. It's on July 4th,
Okay.
and the racing starts like around, well, there's some pregame stuff around noon, and the big races start about a little after 1, and then the biggest race of the day, I think, is at 3 p.m., something like that. Do you think you want to go and see how that whole thing, how that all that works?
Yeah.
You want
I
to
think I could. Yeah.
learn about that? Learn how I cover an event like that?
Yeah. I haven't been to an event yet, like with a lot of people.
Yeah. And so, okay, so Kyle is talking about a New Year's celebration in Florida. He's talking about a New Year's celebration in Florida for the Wrench gang members.
New Year celebration. Are
Yeah,
we
in
going to
Florida.
do something for the Wrench members?
Well, that's what he's talking about, something in Florida.
I would love something in Florida because it's probably the best. In the winter time,
Yeah.
maybe.
New Year's. Well, New Year's.
Oh yeah,
January.
that is winter time. So I'm
Um,
in. I'm down.
all
Wrench
right.
members
We figured
invited.
out that New Year's is in the wintertime, and we're making progress here, folks. we're we're we are slowly but surely making some progress on the channel. All right, so
Figure out the satoshis and pennies.
yeah, satoshis and all that stuff. So so follow Brianna at briefitdance.com. briefitdance.com.
Oh, I did a workout video with featuring my song dedicated to Andy Edstrom.
I saw that. It
Um,
was very good. Good
and he
job.
actually retweeted it.
I saw that. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
So if you guys
And,
want to check it out, that's on my
and
Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
he wrote a book, Why Buy Bitcoin, didn't it? Wasn't that the title?
Yeah. Why buy Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Why buy Bitcoin?
So here's the thing. I mean, I think that we're continuing to see more and more adoption. We're continuing to see events like the Bitcoin conference grow in numbers.
Yep.
And so I think the long-term prospects are good. Bitcoin has been attacked aggressively recently by people like Elon Musk and other fudsters. It's been attacked, but I think that they ultimately are going to fail. I think that the attacks are being brushed off, and I think that every time Bitcoin gets attacked, it gets stronger. And the weak hands are selling to the strong hands. That's what's happening right now, is the weak hands are selling to the strong hands. And the hodlers are increasing in numbers. The strong hands, the hodlers, hold on for dear life. And so I think the future looks good. We don't know for sure. I mean, this is risky business, folks. But I think that I'm optimistic. So what do you think,
Yeah.
Bree?
Me too. I think we're I mean, it's the price is going to be a bit constant, I think, and then it'll pump a little bit and then be constant
So we're going to kind of go sideways for a while.
sideways for a while. But
In
it'll
this,
be less volatile.
we're in like a trading range right now, kind of.
Yeah, it's
But there are
volatile right
people that
now,
are
but
there are people that
you
are
gotta be
saying
patient.
that there are people that are saying that it's going to break out of this trading range,
Yeah,
and some people are saying it's going to take a dive down to 20,000, and then other people are going to saying it's going to break out to the upside, right? And so we
it
don't
could be
know.
both. Could be
But
either.
here's the thing, if it takes a dive down to 20, I'm going to buy. I'm probably going to buy like maybe 5 more Bitcoin, maybe 100 grand worth, something like that.
Yeah,
I've never paid more than 10,000 for a Bitcoin, but I think I'll make an exception. If it takes a dive down to 20, I think I might make a move. All right, we got a couple more comments and then we're going to wrap it up. We got
wrap it up.
apparently Tony Stark spoke at the Miami event. Tony
Oh yeah, I
Hawk.
saw him.
Tony Hawk, what did he say?
He just talked about his skateboarding experience and how it connects to Bitcoin and all that.
And does he own Bitcoin?
He does.
Okay. Is he on the list for your Bitcoin VIPs?
Actually, I didn't add him.
Should you? You think
I
you should?
should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and
know. I know that El Salvador president is a Bitcoiner now.
so you're going to add him?
I already added him.
Okay. Kyle says, does he deserve a wrench?
Well, if he
Well,
comes along, if he comes here in the chat,
there you go. That's right.
you gotta come here
Does
in
he
the chat.
deserve a music video? Well, he's on the list now. That's right. That's how that works. You get on the list first, and then you got to make the cut. You only got a few more spots left. How many spots do you have left?
Like two.
So, my gosh, it's going to be difficult. it's going to be harder than getting a whole Bitcoin to get on to be in a song. you think
Be
getting
like a
one
tightrope.
you think getting one whole Bitcoin is hard. This is even harder. Steve was great to work with in my purchase, says Ultraman Red, one red. Highly recommend buying a watch from him. Thanks, Craig, for the intro to Little Treasury Jewelers.
Oh, cool. He bought a watch there.
That's right. I'm going to do a screen grab of this and send it to the Stevester.
Does he know that we're live? He probably.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't think he follows the channel.
Oh.
Oh, well, what can you do? He's a busy guy, so there's that.
Yeah.
He works hard all day, every day, and then he gets home, he's exhausted. So I
That's
don't
true.
blame him. I don't blame him. I don't hold that
All
against him.
business owners are always tired.
It's very difficult to own a business. It really is. And work
Especially
that
when
brain.
it's like really active.
And
He's been
you're
selling a lot.
Yeah, and you're learning with your brand that there's a lot that goes into it,
Oh yeah.
building a brand, right?
It is a lot of work.
Yeah. But do you think you're up to the task? You think you can hang in there?
I can hang in there. It's just people
Okay.
tell me to get a job or like do something else. I'm like, this is my job. Like it's a job.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, you know what JOB stands for, right? Just over broke. JOB. It
Whoa.
stands for just over broke.
Just over broke.
Yeah, most people that have a job are just over broke. In other words, just a little bit over being broke. Some of them are actually broke. Some of them aren't
Yeah.
even over broke. Some of them
Yeah.
are broke. So, yeah. Yeah, in the United States of America, the American dream is to own your own business. I mean, that's how people build wealth. They don't build wealth working for somebody else, generally speaking. So, They own their own business. They create their own brand and so on. Exactly what you're doing.
People
So,
gotta watch the movie we watched, The Man Who Built America.
oh yeah, that's a good one. The
It's
Men
a
Who
it's a good
Built
movie.
America. That's a great series.
That
Talk about
shows you that owning a business or owning something really makes you like wealthy
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
and not working for somebody.
I wouldn't bet against the Lady Brianna. I think she's going to be a big success. I'll put it that way. So, all right, on that note,
Someday.
we're going to wrap this puppy up, and you can go to briefitdance.com, and let's see what Kyle says. He's got the last comment. 50% of the people in this country are broke or in debt. There you go.
Or
That's
more.
right. That's quite a statistic. I think it might even be higher than that now, Kyle.
Yeah.
All right. On
What
that
about the
note,
percentage of overweight
yeah, that's more than 50% too. Holy cow. Hey, Bree, do you
or
know
big
that
Bitcoin holders too? Like, yeah.
I bet you that of people your age, today is the anniversary of D-Day. Yeah, thank God for those people that made that sacrifice.
That is a big sacrifice.
So, Bree, um, I was going to say something about the percentage of people that are your age
Yeah.
that have a Roth IRA. I bet you it's like close to zero. You have not only do you have a Roth IRA, but you fully funded it for 2 years, and you're only
Yeah.
like 21. That is amazing. That is congratulations for A, even knowing what a Roth IRA is, and B, having it
You
fully
taught me.
funded. Well, you still have to listen. Most people don't listen.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So Jeffrey says, goodbye, everyone. Have a good day. Okay. Jeffrey says 2%, I bet. 2% have a Roth IRA? No, I think it's less than that. That's what he's talking about.
Maybe.
Okay. We're going to let this go. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you for coming.
Yep.
And you got the rest of the nice, beautiful day here. Make the most of it. And you're
Sure.
going to have something really, you got something really cool coming on the way from eBay that you're going to be able to do a video about maybe later in the week. But don't tell them what it is. You got to surprise them. But you got something really cool coming, right?
Yep. So stay tuned.
Same bat channel, same bat time.
Yep.
All right. We're going to wrap it up. There's a official time check for the end of the show. Thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you.